Good morning, ladies. Thanks for joining us again today, taking care of yourselves. I hope you're doing well as we continue our shelter in place. Anyway, let's start with a good morning stretch.
The next workout will begin in 60 seconds. Please proceed.
There she is. Y'all miss that voice? Okay. All right, we're going to start with a good morning stretch, which is a hip hinge. So you're going to be nice and flat in the back here. I don't want to see any rounding backs, okay? Make sure you lead by pushing the hips back. Chest is forward. Feel that nice hamstring stretch. Knees are soft, dropping the hips. Then you're going to go up on the toes, all right? Stretching nice and tall. So here we go. Hip hinge, hamstring stretch, back nice and flat, dropping the hips, and up on the toes. Great. Show you from the side again. Nice flat back, chest is forward, dropping the hips, up on the toes, hip hinge, hamstring stretch, knees soft, hips back, up on the toes. Great. Make sure you're breathing right out of the gate here. Develop a breathing pattern throughout. I will be reminding you of that as we go through. Sometimes people tend to hold their breath.
Begin set 1.
All right, great. Now we're going to do a little hip opener, chest opener. You're going to bring that knee up and out. The other knee up in front of the hip and out. Step, step, and then you're going to do a circle, circle. All right, opening up those hips. On the step, opening up the chest on the circle. 2 major muscle groups tend to be shortened throughout the day as we do our sitting, as we do our driving, our rounding. Really important to keep those opened up. Big step, big step, big circle, big circle.
Stop.
Great.
Exercise.
And you're continuing with that breathing nice and tall through the torso. Let's do one more of these. Big step, opening up those hips. Big circle, big circle. Great. All right, we're going to do a little heel in front here.
Begin.
Start to get that heart rate up a little bit more. We're going to add a little punch here right across the body. Getting those abs involved. Shoulders stay down here. And you're breathing. Nice. Get those arms and legs working together here. Abs also always staying engaged. Breathing throughout. Again, trying to stay nice and tall here. Twisting from the waist here. And then we're going to segue into a side step. Same thing with the punches. So getting in that side-to-side plane, continuing with the punches. So life is in all planes. I always like to practice going in all planes. We tend to focus on going forward and back, mostly forward. So when you get out in the real world, we have to move in all directions. So we're moving in our sideways plane now, still keeping that rigorous punch. Great. Punch, boom. Nice, working those arms. Abs stay engaged. Excellent. Hopefully getting that heart rate up a little bit.
Stop. Exercise.
All right, we're going to move to some high knees here if you can. And we're going to add a pull down to that, okay? So just like our lat pull down. Nice high knees, getting that heart rate up. If you can, getting the hands right over the elbows on this, shoulders are down.
Begin set 4.
Keeping that chest nice and open. Nice high knees. Woo, we're going to start on the mat today. If you've got one large weight, we're going to use that. If you don't, you can use 2 together. Or if you don't have any weight, no worries. You can still do the moves. Nice. Almost there. I added a little twist to this inadvertently, but here we go. We might as well go with it. There we go.
Exercise
nice.
And switch
Okay.
to the next station.
Starting on the mat or the floor. I'm going to start with a pullover. Most of you should be okay with this. The movement is arms behind you, pulling straight over the chest. If you're not sure if that's going to work, I want you to do it without any weight first. Abs engaged.
Begin set 1.
Arms behind you, right over the chest, and slowly down. If that move does not work for your shoulders, you can move to a narrow press with 2 weights, keeping those elbows in. Okay? I'm going to do my pullover with one weight. Abs engaged, pulling right over that chest. Stopping there, slowly lowering. What we're using here, your lats, your big back muscles, chest, triceps, and abs, all right? Keeping those abs engaged. Make sure you don't go into a back arch here when you go back. So abs stay engaged the whole time. Stopping here at the chest. Alternatively, the narrow press. If you've got some little weights, these work great. Elbows stay in, pushing up right over.
Begin set 2.
Your elbows and down, okay? All right. Also working the chest, shoulders, and triceps on that. Pulling right over the chest here. And slowly lowering with control. As you inhale, exhale, right over that chest. Remember, the abs are staying engaged. You're not letting that back lift off the mat. And you'll also feel this in your shoulders. Great upper body exercise as well as the abs.
Exercise.
For those of you who'd like to make this a compound movement and add to this, we're going to add a bridge. Optional, okay? Only if you feel like you want to up it a little bit. So here we go. We're going to lower that weight. And I like to add the bridge as my arms come up, squeezing the glutes,
3.
coming up and holding, okay? Slowly lower. Coming up and squeezing those glutes. Great. So now we've got lower body involved as well, glutes and hammies. Excellent. Inhale here and exhale. Nice squeeze in the glutes. Abs stay nice and tight. And exhale. Well done.
Stop. Exercise.
All right. For our last one, if you'd like, you can hold that bridge the entire time, okay? Pullover is going to remain the same, of course. Slowly lowering. Exhaling as you raise up. Nice and stretched out here. Abs engaged as you pull up.
Begin set 4.
Squeezing the glutes. This time I'm going to hold that bridge. Keeping those glutes nice and tight. Keeping that navel pulled in. Inhaling here. And exhaling. Inhaling here. And exhaling. Great work, ladies. Hopefully you're feeling those shoulders, triceps, chest, and or lats. You probably won't be feeling quite as much because those are the biggest muscle group working here.
Stop
Abs are
exercise and
engaged.
switch to the next
All right, we'll
station.
just stay here and do some bridges. If you've got a band, I'd like you to put that on. You're going to put that right over your knees. If you don't have a band, no worries. We're still going to continue with some bridges. We're going to start with your feet about hip width apart, or where you have a little bit of tension in that band, okay? All right. Squeezing the glutes, tucking the tailbone, coming up and holding. Now, if anybody has a problem with bridges, anybody have any back issues that preclude you from doing some bridges, you're just going to do a pelvic tilt, squeezing the glutes, tucking the tailbone, keeping everything nice and tight, holding for 5, and then releasing, okay? Those of you who want to up the ante a little bit more here, and you didn't feel like your upper body is really too taxed out, you can hold some weights overhead or simply keep your arms up over your shoulders, all right? So, second set, let's wait a little bit here. Second set, again, options, no weights, or simply keeping your arms by your side. All right, this time we're going to keep tensioning that band as you squeeze the glutes and go up and hold. And we're going to stay up if you're able and do a little push out, small push out. All right, working that glute medius outside of the hip there. Still working the hamstrings, pulling that navel in, making sure those shoulders are down and relaxed. But those are getting worked as well, holding that weight overhead. Making sure the hips don't drop, right? Keeping those hips up. Small pulses. Open. Good. Great. Just a very small movement.
Exercise.
All right. For those of you who are saying, oh, that's pretty easy still, we're going to add a single leg version of this. Feel free to stay with the double leg if that's plenty for you. For the single leg version, we're always going to start with squeezing the glutes, coming up, And this
Begin
time
set
you're gonna
3.
hold that leg parallel to the other leg. Now, lots of ways to do this. Today I'm gonna add a little pulse here with that working leg, okay? So, the extended leg stays parallel to the bent leg or the working leg, and you're gonna do a little pulse. Should really be feeling that hammy and glute on that working leg side. Great. Keeping tension in the band. So we got that hip working as well. Working leg, hammy and glute, navel pulled
Stop.
in.
Exercise.
Woo! Okay. Same thing other side. Taking a break with the arms if you need to. Again, easy to feel like it's staying with that double leg perfectly fine. If you're going to do the single leg, this is our last one. Here we go, coming up. I'm going to put those arms
Begin
overhead,
set
shoulders
4.
are down. Small pulse with that working leg, keeping the extended leg straight and parallel to that working leg. Great. Hammy and glute. Now you might notice that my toes are up on the working leg. That just accentuates the hamstrings a little bit more. Optional, okay? You can keep that leg flat if you want. Keeping the toes up, a little bit more hamstring oriented. Almost there, ladies. How are we doing? Woo! Abs stay engaged.
Stop exercise and switch to the next
Fantastic.
station.
Okay, we are going to move into a bird dog, which is a great spinal alignment core stabilization exercise. We're going to start on all fours. Weights out of the way here. Hands are going to be underneath the shoulders.
Begin
Knees
set
underneath
1.
the hips. Back is nice and flat in that tabletop position, head and neck neutral. You're going to start by engaging the abs. You're going to extend one leg back. If you're able to add the opposite arm, you're going to hold, okay? We're going to keep it on the floor for now until you see, okay, that's easy, or if it feels fine like that, you're going to stay with that. If it feels like you want a little bit more of a challenge, balance-wise, you're going to lift that leg up and hold.
Stop exercise.
Mindful of those hips not rotating, okay? Hips are always going to be facing that mat, all right? So again, each time you come in that tabletop position, you're going to reset, shoulders down away from the ears, abs engaged. All right, here we go.
Begin
Extending
set
arm and
2.
leg. Keeping that leg down if you have any back issues, okay? Otherwise, if you feel like you can go for this, raising the leg up. I like to flex that foot so I'm really getting full extension, 5-second hold, switching sides, shoulders down, abs engaged. Reach with that right heel, left arm nice and long. So again, extending that whole back side. Here's your inhale. Great. Let's do one more.
Stop exercise.
Hold. Making sure those hips stay aligned. Your hip is right over your leg. Coming back into that child's pose if you want to do a quick stretch. All right, your options now are to stay with that same thing, 5-second hold per side. If you want to up your game a little bit here, we're going to do more of a challenge. Opposite arm and leg, a whole set on one diagonal, coming underneath the body. Engaging those abs, reaching nice and long and extending, okay? Squeezing that glute in the extended leg together and reaching with that heel and with that arm. Here's your inhale and exhale. Really focusing on core engagement here, balancing and extending.
Stop exercise.
Great. Same thing other side. Take a little break here if your wrists need a break. All right. Remember, each time you come back to tabletop, shoulders down, abs engaged. Other side here. Extending nice and long. Underneath the body. And extend and hold. With that extended arm here on your arm that's holding you up, you want to think about pushing into that mat, keeping the shoulder away from the ear. And with your extended arm, nice and long, underneath the body, and exhale. Almost there, ladies. Woo! Abs nice and tight, engaged, nice and long.
Stop exercise.
Excellent.
and
Let's go into a
switch
little
to the
child's
next
pose here.
position.
Relaxing those wrists. All right, let's go to our wall sit or squat. Now, if anybody has trouble with the wall sit, I'm going to grab some weights with this. Feel free to use a bench or chair and do a
Begin set 1.
seated, sitting down, and standing up, holding onto a table or whatever you have available if you need that extra support. Okay? Those of you okay with the wall sit, I'm going to grab some weights and add some arm curls, optional again. Coming down to as close to 90 as you can get here. Let's start with an isometric hold. If you do have those weights, even if you don't have the weights, you can hold your arms like this, keeping that chest nice and open, shoulders are down. And we're breathing, all right? Now, of course, we're working the quads here. With the arms in this position,
Stop
we've also got the
exercise.
biceps working. Feel free to take a break if you need it, but I know most of you probably don't need a break, right? Going for endurance here? Okay. So with the isometric hold on the arms, we're doing bicep work as well. And you're always thinking about engaging that core, okay?
Begin
Any
set
knee
2.
issues, most of you know you just go a little bit higher up, okay? So if you have any knee pain at all, don't go down too low, just raise up a little bit. Otherwise, we're staying down. And now we're going to add an arm curl here. Dynamic means it's moving, right? So slowly lowering and exhaling as you come up. Great. Keeping that chest nice and open, shoulders stay quiet. Thinking about navel being engaged and feeling those quads. Woo!
Stop exercise.
Great. All right, taking a break if you need it, shaking those legs out. Great work, ladies. Woo! All right. Coming back down as soon as you can here. Again, mindful of the knees, determining your position, how low you
Begin
go.
set 3.
All right, shoulders are down. Hold it right here. All right, elbows stay in at the wall, shoulders stay down, chest is open. Slowly lowering and exhale. Kind of neck stay in that nice neutral position, but making sure you're not leaning forward with your neck, tucking that chin in. Great. And here comes your exhale. Excellent work, ladies. Woo!
Stop exercise.
Old ski exercise here. I'm slipping a little bit, so I'm going to move back here, shake it out. All right. Hopefully you're not slipping. Anyway, as I was saying, this is an old ski exercise. Great for the quads. Shoulders down, chest open.
Begin set 4.
All right, continuing with that arm curl. If you like. So we have a nice compound movement. Think about the way your feet being back towards your heels and not in the toes. Here's your inhale and exhale. Last set, ladies, hold tight. Woo! Don't give up on me. Quads should be shaking. Here's your inhale and exhale. Inhale.
Stop
Woo!
exercise and switch
Excellent
to the next
work, ladies.
position.
All right, shaking those legs out. Woo! All right, I'm going to move to a triceps kickback. If you have a bench or bed or couch available, I'd like you to use that, doing this in a bent over position. If that's uncomfortable, you don't have that
Begin set
available,
1.
you can always do triceps kickbacks standing, okay? And I'm going to do one at a time here. Back stays nice and flat, shoulders over the wrist, elbow pin to the side, extending all the way back, hold, and slowly lowering to the count of 5. Now, when you lower, tendency is going to be to drop that elbow. Don't let it happen. All right, extend, slowly lowering to about 90 degrees. All right.
Stop exercise.
Extend and hold. I just got started, so I'm going to keep going. Slowly lower. You want to make sure you're not leaning back here. Your shoulder stays over your wrist, and your elbow stays high throughout.
Begin
All right,
set
slowly
2.
lower as you inhale and exhale. Also want to make sure you're not turning your torso, okay? So torso is facing down. And it shouldn't take much here. We did pre-fatigue the triceps on that pullover. So hopefully you're really feeling those triceps now. You are working against gravity on that push-up. Slowly lowering. And extending, squeezing that triceps. Woo! And slowly lowering. Don't rush that lowering. You're fighting against gravity. Well done. Okay, switching sides. Getting in that tabletop position again. Shoulder over the wrist. Back nice and flat. Elbow pinned to the side. All right. Keeping that upper arm very still as you extend that lower arm back and hold. And slowly lower. Great. Exhale. Squeezing the triceps. Slowly lower. Really good. And exhale. Slowly lower. Elbow stays pinned to the sides. Great. One more
exercise.
So also another reason to do single leg, single arm exercises is great to identify muscle imbalances. See, one side's usually stronger than the other, so you can kind of identify that and be aware of that moving forward. All right, last set here. Elbow pinned to the side.
Begin
Head and
set
neck
4.
nice and neutral, extending back, hold. Slowly lower. And extend. Hopefully those triceps are on fuego. Inhale here. Exhale. Nice. Don't let it come down quickly. You're going to control that lowering slowly. We got 1 or 2 more here. Exhale as you push back, hold. Slowly lower. Woo! Pushing through, ladies. Finishing strong. We're all set.
Exercise.
Nice.
To the next station.
Well done. Okay, I'm going to put down my heavier weights, grab my lighter weights or my double weights here. We're going to do a side lunge. Those of you who have sensitive knees and know that a lunge doesn't work for you, you're going to do a single leg reach. With or without weights. So I'm going to show you that first. You're going to do a tap in front, standing on one leg, tap to the side, tap behind. All right? So you've got balance, inner thigh. As you go out, squeezing the glute behind you. Now, if you want to make that a little harder, you can actually keep the leg lifted the whole time. Conversely, if you need more stabilization, you can hold on to a wall with that. All right, side lunge. You're going to step out, feet are parallel, pushing the hips back, and coming back.
Stop.
Center, all right? So points to remember on the side lunge. You're holding weights, shoulders are down, pushing those hips back, feet stay parallel, pushing the hips back, feeling that nice inner thigh, making sure that knee doesn't go beyond the foot. All right, so we're going to stay on that side.
Begin set 2.
Hopefully going to balance is what I'm working on. Pushing those hips back. And you can touch here, or if you're able, going to a balanced position here, okay? Pushing the hips back, feeling that inner thigh, also working quad and glute of that bent leg, pushing the hips back, again, mindful of that knee not going past the foot, also mindful that your feet are even, that you're not stepping in front or behind that straight leg, okay? Boom.
Stop.
Good.
Exercise.
Great. Shake it out. Same thing other side. Feet are facing forward. If you're doing the balance, I'm going to say switch legs, but if you didn't switch legs, go ahead and switch legs now. Tap, 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 nice and tall through the torso. Or you're keeping that nice semicircle without touching down if you want to make it a little bit more challenging. All right, stepping out, pushing the hips back, and coming back to center. Good. Pushing the hips back, coming back to center. Great. So athletic move here, working that inner thigh, working the bent leg, glute and quad here. And of course, if you've got weights, you've got a little extra arm activity here and a little core stabilization as well. Weights over, up high. Good.
Stop.
Excellent. Pushing those hips back and coming back to center. And of course, we're balancing. Both of these exercises are balancing exercises as well. Last set here. Shoulders down, weights up if you've got them. Stepping out, pushing those hips back.
Begin set
To
4.
balance. Pushing those hips back. To balance. Great. Always love to do a balance exercise. It's so important. And make sure if you are doing the standing leg, single leg reach, that standing leg is not locked out. The knee is soft. Pushing the hips back here. Boom. Hold. Great. Almost there, ladies. Woo. Pushing those hips back.
Stop
And
exercise.
nice
Switch
work.
to the
Fantastic.
next station.
Okay, we're going to finish up with some side planks on the mat. If side planks are, you can't do side planks because of a shoulder or a neck, feel free to do a front plank. Feel free to use an elevated surface, a bench, or a
Begin
chair.
set 1.
If you would like to do a modified side plank, you're going to be on your knees here. Knees, hips, shoulder, elbow, all lined up. Squeezing the glutes, abs engaged. Option to extend this leg here. Second option here is to lift that leg up and hold if you want a little more of a challenge. All right, the advanced side plank is going to look like this. Make sure your feet are dorsiflexed, which means toes toward the chest. Abs and glutes nice and tight. Hips are high. Head and neck in that neutral position.
Stop exercise.
Great. All right, I do like to switch sides on the side plank just to give the shoulder and neck a little break. All right, switching sides. Again, making sure whichever plank you're doing in the side plank,
Begin set 2.
knees, hips, and shoulders all aligned. All right. Option to straighten that top leg. All right. Here we go. Hips up and hold. Arm up. I like to keep that arm up. Again, it's optional. You can have your arm here, but I like to just sort of accentuate opening in the chest. And make sure, again, toes toward the chest. Dorsiflexion of the foot. Get those quads firing. Abs engaged. Glutes nice and tight. Woo! And enjoy. If you're doing a front plank, feel free to add a variation on that. If you want to up it a little bit, little knee drop, little toe tap, little sawing back and forth. All right, if you want to add to your side plank, you're still feeling like you want a little bit more here. You're going to grab your weight if it's not too heavy.
Begin
And you're
set
going to hold
3.
that overhead. All right, still keeping the glutes nice and tight, abs nice and tight. And then we're going to do a little pass through here. Boom. A lot of balance and stabilization there, okay? Hold up. And coming underneath. Looping under. Hold up, open up nice and wide. And coming underneath. So working the rectus abdominis as well as the obliques here, which are the sides of the abs. Keeping the glutes tight.
Stop
Legs
exercise.
are working, arms are working. Lot going on. All right, ladies, we have one more set. Let's give it all you got. Dorsiflex those feet, elbow underneath the shoulder, glutes tight, abs tight. Here we go. Chest nice and open.
Begin set 4.
And looping underneath. Breathing throughout. Fantastic, ladies. Woo! We are finishing strong. Grateful for those bodies, how much work they're doing for us. Woo! Taking care of ourselves. Woo! Reach, hold, breathing. Almost there. Hang on. Hang on. Push through. Don't give up on me. Here we go. We're almost there.
Stop exercise.
Nice work,
Your
ladies.
training is now complete.
Woo! Great job. All right, let's do a couple of quick stretches here. One of my favorites is the figure 4, which you can do. I often do this on a bench, but since we're on the mat, we're going to cross that left leg over. Head and neck nice and long through the torso. This may be enough for you here. I'm looking for a hip opener here. If you want a little bit more and you're able to lift this leg up, you're going to lift that leg up and pull gently on that leg. If you want a little bit more of a hip opener, you can actually press gently with this arm to open up the hip. All right, shoulders are down, head and neck relaxed. A couple deep breaths here. Keeping keeping that head and neck nice and long, shoulders down, opening up that hip. One more deep breath. Great. Let's switch sides. Crossing that other ankle over the knee. Make sure that knee and hip are lined up here. This may be enough for you. If it's enough, you're going to just hold here. If you want a little bit more of a stretch, you can bring that leg up. Head stays down. And gently pull that leg in. Option to push with that arm. Open up that hip a little bit more. Okay? Couple deep breaths here. As you keep that head nice and long. Opening up that hip. Great job. Leg is coming over to your side as you gently push yourself up. We're going to do one more stretch, chest opener, clasping the hands behind the back, shoulders stay down, chest is open, knees soft. Deep breath in here. And as you exhale, really drop those shoulders, keep that chest up, think about abs being engaged. Tucking the hips a little bit, making sure you're not in a back arch here, keeping those hips tucked. Another deep breath in. Opening up that chest, shoulders stay down. All right, shaking out those arms. And a little arm cross in front, mini squat here as you inhale. Exhale, nice and tall to the ceiling, really reach. And let's do one more of those. Inhale, mini squat. Exhale, reaching up nice and tall to the ceiling. Thanks so much for joining us, ladies. Hope you're all doing well. Make sure you drink some water and get out for that walk today. It should be a nice day.